Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dale.
And I'm Adriana.
And today we're going to show you guys an interview with Rick Yoder. He was Preferred Airparts' second full-time employee. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Rick Yoder. I've been with Preferred Airparts since 1987. I was the second full-time employee hired. I work in sales and I handle air conditioning systems and propellers. What motivated me to work in aviation? Really, at the time, I was just looking for a job. I had a job, but was looking for something with better hours. I'd just gotten married, so I heard from a friend of actually Ken Jr.'s that they were looking to hire somebody, and figured I would check it out, and I guess the rest is history. One of my biggest challenges, there's actually two. When I first started, I knew nothing about airplanes, and so when I came in, there's only 4 of us who were working here. So Steve Stable and I were out in the warehouse. We kind of did everything as far as taking planes apart, pulling parts, inventorying them, and so there was a big learning curve on learning the manuals, learning what everything's called, what's an aileron, what's a rudder, and so that was one of the big challenges. My other biggest challenge was when the company went to Quantum, our system we use, the computer system, and myself and another gentleman had to set that all up, and that took months and months. The good thing about both of those is once you've done that, you know it inside out, and it makes everything else a lot easier from there on. One of the important things I've learned working at Preferred is take care of the customer. It's always been one of the high priorities. Ken Jr. always pushed that, and it was something we really worked at. One of the coolest things that happened is I actually had a customer call in who had ordered from us once or twice, but had heard a lot about the company and what the company stood for. And she called in, she had a bad day, something happened in her family. She called in and she's like, hey, I hear you guys are Christians, I'm having a really bad day, and I need somebody to talk to. So I probably talked to her for 15, 20 minutes, and then she started asking about why we believe that and everything. And so we actually, Ken Sr. and I sent her a Bible and talked to her about it, and a few months later she called back and she's like, yeah, thank you, I'm in church now and I'm really getting everything straightened out. And that's just one of the cool things about working for a Christian company. You can do something like that. A lot of companies, it would be kind of questionable if you're allowed to do that. My favorite thing about working at Preferred Airparts is dealing with the customers. Every day is different. Every customer has something different they're working on. One of the customers may call up and know all the part numbers and everything they want, and it's just look up the number, tell them what we have. The next customer won't have any idea even what the part might be called, and so he might give you a description and you have to go to the manual, find it for him, give him the part number, help him find it. But those are the guys who you feel good about because they really appreciate it. Some of them are really frustrated because they can't figure it out, and you just made their day better. Well, one thing I think everybody should know about Preferred Airparts is they don't just say they care about the customer, they do. We try to make everything, if there's a problem with something, we try to make it right. We try to do what's fair to the customer, what's best for the customer, even sometimes to the detriment of Preferred Airparts, to make sure they get what they need and we can help them the best we can. Outside of work, my biggest hobby right now are my children. I have 7 kids. 3 of them are living at home right now, so that keeps me busy. I like baseball. I used to play a lot and like watching it now, and I like to go fishing with my sons. So my dream job would be to play or work in Major League Baseball. I've just always loved baseball and played it all my life, and I just think it would be awesome to work or play in that area. Preferred Airparts has changed a lot since I started here. When I started here, it was obviously really small, 4 total employees, including the owners. We didn't clean out aircraft when we brought them in completely, so there were times you'd have to go out and get a part out of an aircraft at 1 o'clock in the afternoon so it could ship by 3. And you had to do a little bit of everything: cleaning parts, pulling parts, inventorying parts, going to pick up parts. It was really small. It was a great family environment, and everyone knew everyone really well. Now, with us being bigger and having, almost 100 employees, it's, you know everyone, but not everyone on the level you do. Everybody in your department you know really well, but the others you don't get to know as well. So that's kind of a drawback, but that's with every company. As far as the work, it's now everything's on inventory, so it goes a lot smoother. Even in sales, from when I started there, you used to have to go out, have someone go check and see if we had a part, if it was in an airplane or something. Now everything's on inventory, and within a couple minutes you know if you have it or not. And you know it's good because it's already been checked. Working at Preferred Airparts has changed my life. One, my understanding and my belief in God, and knowing that He plays a part in everything you do. And I've always tried to work with the idea that I'm not really working for Preferred Airparts or the Stallstruce family. I'm working for God. And that was something Ken always talked about a lot, was we're working, yeah, to make money, but we're working for God, and in the end, if we do that, then other things will take care of themselves, and it's been proven. If you take care of that and you handle customers the way they should be handled, then business will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about that. One of my favorite projects I've worked on at Preferred, we had gotten an inventory that had a lot of helicopter parts in it. And we never had done a whole lot with them up to that point. And so kind of my job was to find somebody who was interested in them. We didn't really want to inventory them. We didn't because we didn't know that much about them. And so I worked with a guy from Michigan for probably 2 months. He came down a couple of times. We had him out in a warehouse. It was probably a semi-load or a semi-and-a-half load. And he came down a couple of Saturdays. We looked through this stuff with him, and he ended up buying everything. But it was just, I learned a lot about helicopters in a real short time. But again, the guy was great to work with, and it ended up being a lot of fun. I'm Rick Yoder. Thank you for being a customer of Preferred Airparts. It's been a pleasure taking care of you all these years.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Rick Yoder. And just a reminder, if you're not already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Take care.